Am I really here? Are you really here? Are we really here?
Real quick, I want to shout out my supporter mail, not fan mail. You guys know how I feel about the word fan. Kim McVeigh, I got your card. Appreciate it. Julia C, I got yours. It was awesome. I appreciate that. Appreciate the kind words. And means a lot. Peter, got yours. It would tear you up if I read these. These are Old Guy 52, I got your card. And you're right, it's not a horror card, but it's from the heart. I don't care if you wrote it on a piece of cardboard. It means a lot to me. You can mail stuff to me if you want as well. It's in my About section right here on YouTube if you want to mail a card or anything. You don't have to, but it's always there. People have asked. There you go. Now, spooky season. Spooky season is upon us, and we're on a roll. He's back. Let's go. Guys, I looked outside. I didn't see nothing out. What is that? What is going on here? Guys, I got a lot of notifications on YouTube. I'm going to have to check my second channel here. What is going on here? Oh no.
Shape, your whole audience is going to turn on you.
Oh wow.
Your time is up on Halloween night.
Took over
Nobody likes you anymore.
took my channel.
You're a has-been. I'm taking over your main channel, just like I did your second channel.
Oh no. Oh yeah, well, how you like that dislike? Huh? How you like that? Guys, he even did a community post.
Comments on my last video, you guys have been giving this possessed doll too much credit. Oh, he's cute. Oh, look at that little guy. Looks like a little version of you, Shape. Guys, this is real. It's a real possessed doll. Okay? And just, I feel as if I'm endangered. As if something's coming. And no matter how fast or how far I run, it's getting closer and closer and closer. It's as if on Halloween, it's going to come to a conclusion. And no, I'm not doing it just for... I know what you're thinking. This is real, though. You know, at least it's as real as anything else we watch. Let's get into this video. Let's debunk some clips. Nukes top 5. Even though most times he's got more than 5 clips. But everybody knows who Nukes is. He puts these clips on there and believe it. Maybe it's an elaborate hoax. It's up to you to decide. So I was like, up to me to decide. How many times have I debunked a clip on a top 5 channel? Sometimes the debunks are so easy. I mean, you wonder how come Nukes or Bizarre Bub or whoever that does a top 5, top 10 channel, how they didn't catch that. If they vetted all the material they get, they wouldn't be able to make videos. You see how that works? Like every 5 days they gotta have 10 or 15 ghost clips. And if they vet them, they're not gonna have any. So, Nukes, you lead the way, big guy.
A few months ago, a woman named Rosanna bought an old apartment somewhere in France and moved in with her 2 very young children and her 13-year-old cat, Loli. After moving into the new place, her cat begins to act very strangely.
Our first clip is a cat. A cat that is hissing and growling, and somehow that's a big deal. I don't know how that's a big deal, as if every cat on planet Earth hasn't done that at one time or another. You're at a new location, you just moved in. Cat probably sees or hears things that annoys it, and they're going to do exactly that. They're going to growl, they're going to hiss. But watch the clip. I just wanted to show it. It has nothing to do with anything, but I just wanted you to see this truly bizarre thing.
Yeah.
The cat, Loli, aggressively hisses and snarls at something that Rosanna can't see. Now, Rosanna says that the cat had never done anything like this before they moved.
Newsflash, people lie. That's what they do. Not everybody. I'm not saying this woman did. I mean, maybe the cat has never done that before, but we don't know that as the viewer. We have to take their word for it. We have to take somebody's word for it. And see that when you're a skeptic, that's a hard thing to do.
So one night when the children are away at their dad's house, something happens that makes Rosanna's blood run cold.
Over the years, I don't know how many times I pointed out what you got to look for in every clip that you watch. For instance, why are they filming to begin with? Why are they framing the camera that particular way? But also, trickery. And by trickery, I mean like, has this clip being choreographed? Like they choreographed it to make it scary, like a movie. And also, would you behave like that if it was happening to you? Like, for instance, take a look. This next clip is, if it's real, it's horrifying. But watch how she acts. See, it's right around that moment right there when that drawer opened and then slammed shut. I would have been out of there. Let's be real here, people. Yes, me, a grown man who ain't scared of much now, I would have U-turned, darted out of that place, and I would have never returned, ever. But let's see how she behaves.
C'est pas possible, ça marche pas. Ça marche pas.
There is nobody on this planet that would be seeing all this going on in this room would be standing there. You can tell something's staged by just the dumb, stupid, fake reactions. And that's what this is. Oh, slowly back out of the room, too. Let's do that as well.
Okay, let's do a quick breakdown here. The drawers are slamming, that ain't even a word. It is now. They're opening and closing in this dresser. Slamming by an invisible poltergeist entity of some sort. And the whole time, she's over here saying, look, there's no CD in here. There's no cassette tape. Where's this noise coming from? Overlaid, no batteries. She goes out of her way to show you that there's no way this stereo is producing the noises that you're hearing. While this poltergeist is throwing stuff, slamming stuff and everything right there next to her. Think about that. Would you do that? Or would you be like, no, see, I'm out of here?
She also calls for help from a local priest. The scared mother is now desperate to try absolutely anything to get rid of the sinister entity that seems to be haunting her home. But nothing seems to help. In fact, it just gets much, much worse.
Now this next clip is truly horrifying, but I want you to focus on it. I'm going to let you see the whole clip in its entirety. I want you to look at what's going on, see if you notice what I did. It didn't take me long. But comment below if you got on the first round.
Right.
You can tell it's her making that thing fall. Look how the camera moves as it falls. See, it's like she's pulling. Yep, that's her.
It's amazing what a little bit of string will do to make a poltergeist appear like it's actually there. Now, obviously, to me it looks like she pulled to make that fall over in the floor. I mean, you can see the movement if you were pulling a string. But what stood out to me more than that is the head, the little doll head that's spinning, that's following her around the room. What's that doll sitting on? Take a look.
What caught my attention is this round disc that the doll head is sitting on. If you look closely, I was like, that looks like it spins. Let's look it up on Google. And look, bamboo lazy Susan spinning turntable. That's what this is. You zoom in, you can tell, because I found one that looked exactly like it, which is this one right here, which is a turntable. But if you take the head and put it on that one, they look almost identical.
So, what's that doll sitting on? In case you haven't guessed it by now, it's a turntable. What do turntables do? They spin. That's right. And you can tell that's what it is. I mean, nobody brings no attention to it, but it's right there in your face. I mean, if you were to take that doll and put its head on a turntable I found on Google that looks eerily similar to that one, you can tell that that's what it is. I mean, I probably did some kind of animation to prove it too, because I'm just that good. But it gets worse for this poor woman. And in many videos I mentioned a little something called foreshadowing. And it's so much like a horror movie, you could tell that the person was probably inspired by a horror movie. Take a look at this.
Loli. Loli.
Foreshadowing. She walks up, the door is moving back and forth by itself. Nobody's there, her kids are gone. She looks into the dark hallway and sees a figure that ain't supposed to be there. Why are you not running for your life? That's one question I have. But just, so beautiful. Just watch what she does here. So, instead of running for her life, she goes into the other room and then walks right back into the dark hallway to do a look again. 2 times. Let's keep going. You know how in movies they'll build up a jump scare? Just pay attention. Okay, she could have fled this second time, but does she? Now, what do you think is going to happen? Let's have multiple choice here. She backed out from the dark hallway. So do you think she's going to A, do the smart thing and get out of there immediately? Or do you think it's going to be B, the camera just quits working all of a sudden? Or do you think it's going to be C? She's going to go look for a third time, except this time it's going to be much closer to the camera. The term staged really comes to mind. You see how it's like a horror movie? She backed out once. She looks back in. She backs out the second time. She looks back in, bam, right in your face. You get that off horror movies. If you ever watched the movie Lights Out, she turns the light out, turns it back on. Turns the light out, turns it back on. It's in the same place, but like the third or fourth time she turns the light out and then turns it back on, poof, it's closer. Come on, people. What are we doing here?
An invisible entity opening and shutting a door, yet you stand there. Oh, and you know what else, guys? What you could do for me is, you could probably subscribe.
Okay, where was we? Oh, foreshadowing and choreography. That applies in spades to this next clip. And just pay attention.
So while Jane is in the basement grabbing some tools for her brother, she hears something that puts her on edge. She hits record on her phone as she investigates, and what happens next is truly bizarre.
So she goes downstairs to get tools. Fair enough. My question would be, just right out of the gate, why would you be recording with your phone camera if you're just going downstairs to get tools? Because nothing's happened yet. But anyway, let's watch. Now, pay attention to choreography and foreshadowing.
Okej, så här ska jag hämta verktyg till bror min. Från det jag fixar på en bil. Så... Hva fan? Hallå? Oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god. Hva var det? Jeg sverker det er bare mannen der.
So you hear a strange noise and you stop to film yourself looking in a mirror.
So she hears something, which I'd be getting out of there, which they never do for some reason. But she has to stop to look in a mirror for no reason. I wonder if that will play in later.
Så bara spelar som är jävla creepy. Hallå? Det är ingen där. It's not people in here. Fuck. Det är folk. Hallå? Okej. Hva fan? Det er faktisk ikke artig. Hallå? Så, liksom... Okej, jag måste ha varit hem.
When she looked in the mirror for the second time, something's standing behind her darkly in the corner behind the door and the tires. And then when she goes out that door, the basement door slams. Remember when she looked in the mirror earlier? You remember that? And now when she looks into it again, what has changed here? Right? But also what I want you to focus on is right before she sees the shadow figure, when she turns around and starts walking back out, she's got the camera pointed toward where the shadow figure would be if you had the camera up straight. But she doesn't. She has it down toward the ground, so you can't see where that person would be standing until she gets to the mirror. Pay attention to how she holds the camera. She makes sure not to shine it where that person eventually will be, in the mirror.
So when you're faking, you got to be very careful on your walk back out because you'll accidentally show the person hiding behind the door. As you can see, these tires right here are these tires in the top left-hand corner where our suspect is hiding. Now, he's hiding right up there. And you can't see because she doesn't hold the camera no higher than what it is right now. Watch as she walks out. She's very careful not to show the left side of the screen. Look, now she's going all the way to the right to say, hey, look in the mirror. And of course, she just so happens to get our suspect hiding back there.
Like I said, choreography to a T. Camera work when she's coming back out of the basement. She makes sure not to put the camera where the shadow figure is. You can tell that she's going out of her way to make sure she doesn't show the left side as she's walking out, because that's where they are. Mind-blowing, man. And then she looks in the mirror for a second time for no reason, and it just so happened. Come on, people. What are we doing here? But moving on.
It's around 11:30 at night, and Jocelyn is working in a smoke shop in central Alabama when she hears a noise coming from the back of the store.
Guys, I'm working by my f***ing self, and I hear a f***ing noise in the back. What the f***, bro?
When you zoom in and slow it down, this could be a kid just running real fast. I mean, the pixels are pixelated, of course. Unfortunately, this is the only other angle that we have of this back area, and you don't get anything. You can't see the upstairs.
So there's something happening in the back room of this mart. And now that clip itself looks like a person to me. I mean, there's not much definition there, but what happens next, see, that's when you got to question, is it a person or is it a poltergeist?
Because the spiral staircase on the right, we know there's a upstairs. So if somebody was standing right there upstairs, they could do both of these. I mean, if you could move the ladder and throw the cushion down the steps if you were right here where this guy is, right upstairs. Unfortunately, we don't get to see up there, but I'm kind of showing you what it would probably look like.
So the back rooms have a camera on the lower level, but there's a spiral staircase that's going up that pillow fell down. But we don't get to see up there, where all this paranormal could happen from, right up there. String tied to the top of the ladder, go up on the second floor there, pull a little bit, the ladder falls over, take your right hand, throw the cushion. Two ghosts, two completely different parts of the basement or room back there. Ghost over here, ghost way over here. Yet, if you looked up top, one person could do both of those. This next clip now. Ooh.
Amateur paranormal investigators Jared, his brother David, and a friend get together one night to investigate Jared's own house in Blackpool, England. You see, Jared claims that he has experienced some creepy, unexplained events in the house. So Jared's brother David is holding an SLS camera with built-in night vision when he walks through the downstairs area to see if the camera maps out any strange figures. But then something happens that absolutely freaks out everyone.
Using the night vision camera on the SLS, so that's why they're stood behind me, because we don't want to keep mapping them.
Exactly.
We want to see what we can map ourselves.
Just have a look around the room, Dave. You never know. We caught some orbs in there last time I was up here.
Yeah, I'm hoping to see some orbs there.
Yeah. You never know.
We're back.
It's stuck on two of the K2 meter.
K2, what was that?
Yeah, we've got Jeb behind us doing the K2 and he's got a couple of lights on it, so we don't know.
Yeah. Well, all we can do is just keep going
so
past and see. What?
Let's start the clock. He saw the face. How long is it going to take him to get in there and film? He's still standing there. Then he finally goes. And then he points the camera to the right when he should have done it to the left. But that person had 10 seconds to go in either one of these rooms. I mean, it could be a person, it could be a mask. See, I mean, you can't really tell, but we will never know.
So as they were testing out the night vision camera, SLS night vision camera that's supposed to show the stick figures, they catch a face. Now, that face moves from behind the door, and that face has an escape route. And they have enough time to escape because those guys wait quite a few seconds before they take off after it. They were standing there stunned. Do I think that this was real, or do I think it's staged? Well, I can't prove neither. I'll look into them a bit more, whoever these guys are, but I do think this was staged. Just the way it worked out. Now, I don't know for sure, but I'll look into it deeper. But it just looked like a face to me, and I think they know who that was. Now, this next clip has a ghost photograph. You know, something a bit easier to debunk. Or is it?
I need to tell you guys about the most insane evidence that I have ever seen of a ghost existing. Looked at us and was like, hey, do you guys want to see a ghost picture? Immediately, yes. He begins to tell us that he was in New Orleans at a restaurant called Antoine's. So he's taking a tour of the wine cellar, he's taking pictures. There's this guy in the wine cellar on a laptop who is apparently at auction buying more rare wine for the collection. My CEO takes pictures of this guy on his laptop, doesn't think anything of it, he doesn't see anything, leaves the restaurant, calls it a day. The next morning, he's looking through the photos and notices something. So this is the first picture that he showed me from the wine cellar. You can see this guy who is on his laptop at auction doing whatever. And here is the next picture that he took. So we all see that. That is a full body apparition. It looks like a woman in this like black Victorian dress.
So in my infinite wisdom, I decided I'm going to try to take that photograph and see if I can do some Photoshop and do as good a job as they did. Now you got to remember, I'm at a disadvantage here because they got the original picture that they took to work with. The only thing I got is the camera phone being in a video. So my picture's much lower quality. But I do think it's Photoshopped, and I'm going to show you why. Check this out.
Here's their ghost. Now remember, they had the original picture to work with. Here's my ghost. And it took me all of about 10 minutes.
A guy who goes by the online name Jaladu says that he takes the subway in Mexico City nearly every night. But one night the subway train suddenly stops and he finds himself completely alone in the train car.
What a great setting. Subway at night. You're on a subway train by yourself. So many scary things can happen. It wouldn't be ghosts that I'd be worried about, but in this case, that's what happens. But I want you to pay attention. See if you see it on your first try.
And they cut the camera. And they cut the camera again. Why do I think it's choreographed? She makes a big fuss out of showing the right of the camera right before. She's like, look, nothing's there. And then she turns up, look, it's in the reflection. Why would you make a point to show the right side of the camera? But you can tell it looks like a person sitting there, although we can't prove it. That could be a doll. That could be a flat 2D image. Now, let's see SI. The first clip, she's sitting here. You see the boundary there? Now, this boundary here is the reflection boundary. So if you're sitting in the chair she is, you couldn't see the ghost. Now, the second clip, she's still sitting in the same spot. There's the edge of the window. There's her reflection. There's the boundary clip. But the third clip, look at that. She moved over. Why would you move over another seat like that for the third clip? She was sitting here, but now she's moved over 1 or 2 seats. Oh, because that way she could get the reflection. The further you move to the left, the further you can see in the right of the reflection. And there are spaces under these chairs as well. But we don't know if that's a person. That could be a 2D image she slapped up real quick.
So, to catch you up, this person is recording on the train car. She's hearing these noises, sound overlays, or that's what it is, I'm just telling you. And she turns the camera off and on, or maybe Nukes did this, but the third time, the camera gets turned on, you know, right before she catches the apparition on camera, she moves seats. Nobody called that out or anything yet. She moved over just enough to be able to catch the reflection in. The farther you move to the left with your camera, the further you can see to the right in the reflection. But, moving on.
One night, Felicia Hall is out on her back deck playing with her dog when things get weird.
We're going to listen to that again, but I want to make it clear. You could put a sound overlay of that. I mean, you have access to this outside camera, right? So she could easily overlay herself saying, "Get out." I mean, it's not that hard. And, you know, pretend like she's acting like she heard it in the video when she don't hear anything, then overlay it. But, you know, I can't prove it, but listen one more time. Now, out of all the clips in this entire Nukes video, this one that we just watched would be the one that I would believe would be true over all the other ones, or real rather. Now, this next clip takes place in a hospital that's being renovated. Oh, you know it's going to be good.
A man who works as a nurse at the IMSS hospital in Manzanillo, Mexico was taking a tour of the recently renovated clinic number 10. The nurse is filming with his phone as he walks through the renovated clinic. Later, when he reviews his footage of the old hospital, he spots something that sends a chill down his spine.
When you look at this, I mean, he did point it down the hallway for a long period of time but when you look at this, it could be a squatter or it could be a buddy doing that for him.
Matty Magarachi says that his house in Monroe Township, New Jersey is very haunted. In fact, Matty has been posting about the strange activity in his home for over 4 years. One night, Matty is home alone with his dogs when strange things start to happen.
Now, unfortunately, a lot of these clips, you don't have much to work with. But you got a kid, he's home alone, and you know how kids are. Now, apparently this house is super haunted. Let's watch and see what happens.
What's going on?
What the f*** is that? What the f*** was that?
So somebody peeks at you with a mask and that's your reaction.
So we had knocking sounds on the window on the outside of the house, and we had some face in the doorway that could easily be a mask, and it's looking at him out that dark doorway, and he's like, what is that? And he just backs up. Come on now, what are we doing here? All these fake paranormal videos, and yes, this is fake, this is this boy doing this stuff, they're different videos, but it's always the same formula that we see over and over and over again. It's the same thing. It's a broken record. But hey, I think we did quite good in this video. I think we debunked a couple of them, and there wasn't many to work with, and you ain't got much to work with. Gotta work with what you got. Comment below what your thoughts are. On each clip, if you want to, you can give me a big old explanation. The more in-depth, the better. We're still on a roll, people. Both channels. Oh, you didn't know I had a second channel? I'm just kidding. Most of you do, but some of you may not. But yeah, I got another channel that I still haven't got a name that I want to use yet. But keep giving me those names. You never know. If you get the name, you get a prize. And the prize is going to be cool. I just don't know what it is yet, but give me the name to my second channel. You don't have to call it The Shape, blah, blah, blah. It don't even have to be anything about the shape. So, comment your thoughts on this video. We're still on a roll, spooky month. And then we're going into Christmas. It's the best time of the year. Go outside after this video. Get a big breath of fresh air. This mask. But go out there and, you know what, enjoy the outside a little bit. This is the time of year when family gets together. And you guys are my family. I'm being real. That's not me just saying that. And I'm all, hey fam. No, you guys are my family. And I got some bangers on the way. These videos here take a little while to make, but not as long as like the last one. The last one I worked super long on. But I like to put debunking videos out too of clips because they don't take as long. They still take a while, but they don't take as long to make. And they're fun. You know, you get to see how things are faked. And we learn from those things. Join Debunkers Anonymous on Facebook as well. If you want to debunk 24 hours, 7 days a week, you can go there. I love you guys. I appreciate you. And I really do appreciate all you guys do. And you don't have to be a member of Patreon for, you know, and be like, oh, you appreciate those more. No, I appreciate everybody. Anybody that's watching you right now, I appreciate you. It means a lot to me. You guys don't have to watch. You devote your time, which is very valuable, and I appreciate it. That's why I want to put the best videos out for you guys. And that's what we do here, okay? I love you guys. I appreciate you. And I'll see you in the next video. Y'all come back now, you hear? Peace.